the Most High comes first. I'm what you need. You're watching my channel. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget you can share, like, subscribe. You also donate to my channel via PayPal, which will be in the description. We're talking about something that is very serious, and a lot of people don't realize that. We're talking about unfit matchups. And I said I wasn't going to talk about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul because, in my opinion, it's just a circus act. But it actually is a little more serious than that. And I don't think any sanctioning body is going to sanction this fight. Yes, it's an exhibition, but I don't think they're going to allow either Mike Tyson or Jake Paul allow this fight to happen. And Shawn Porter said that he doesn't think this fight is going to happen. He thinks it's going to be a publicity stunt for Jake Paul. And quite frankly, I think it's very serious. And I'll tell you why. There's precedent to this. And I want to talk to you guys about that precedent right now. So let me do a couple things. Okay, I'm going to draw your attention to the screen here. And the precedent is this: Evander Holyfield versus Vitor Belfort. Now this fight, I'm going to read. Evander Holyfield versus Vitor Belfort, billed as no holds barred, was an exhibition boxing match between former undisputed heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield and former UFC light heavyweight champion Vitor Belfort on September 11th, 2021 at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood in Miami, Florida. Belfort won the fight by TKO at 1 minute 49 seconds of the first round. The fight sold 150,000 pay-per-view buys. There's a couple things that you guys don't know, and so I'm going to try my best to fill in those details. The first one is Oscar De La Hoya was actually supposed to face Vitor Belfort. He pulled out because he got the COVID. He ended up in hospital and so on. But the second thing is here. Let me see if I can find the details here. So we're going to go right here. I'm going to try and scroll up here so you guys can see. Well, in this case, I guess roll down. There you go. Not seeing what I want to see here. I want to show you guys the age of the fighters when they face each other. The age. Which is the major problem here. It's not anything else. I'm not seeing that particular piece of information. So what I will do, try and go back here. Okay, and find that information. I thought it was around because when I did the search, it was around. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find it for you. Surprisingly, in this particular search, we're seeing all kinds of stuff here, but there it is. It'll be right here. ESPN. Okay, Mike Coppinger. Mr. Mike Coppinger is covering it. Look what it says right here. I'm going to read it for you. Belfort overwhelms Evander Holyfield in the first round TKO victory. Evander Holyfield, 5 weeks shy of his 59th birthday, till he was 58, was stopped on his feet by former UFC champion Vitor Belfort just 1 minute and 49 seconds into the opening round Saturday night at the Hard Rock and Casino. Belfort, who was 44, swarmed Evander Holyfield from the opening bell and never let up in the Thriller Fight Club main event as President Donald Trump watched them from the commentary booth. Holyfield, the former heavyweight champion and one of boxing's all-time greats, showed no resistance in his first fight since 2011. Now, what is so important about this for you guys to understand is the age difference. Evander was 58 and Belfort was 44. Belfort was fighting regularly. Evander hadn't had a fight since 2011. All of these are just a recipe for disaster. I remember when people looked at this and it was a disgrace. By the way, this was an exhibition bout. Okay? And what makes this so very disturbing is the fact that a legend like Evander Holyfield could have gotten seriously hurt in that fight. There was no headgear. There was no precautions put in place. And mind you, Vitor Belfort is not a boxer. He didn't have a lot of boxing experience. Okay? So why I agree with Shawn Porter that this fight probably is not going to happen, or no credible body or commission is going to allow this fight to happen, is because of this precedent here. Evander Holyfield was 58 years old. Vitor Belfort was 44. Vitor Belfort was not known as a boxer, okay? Even though he did some boxing fights. Jake Paul is much further ahead than Vitor Belfort. Jake Paul is way younger than Vitor Belfort, okay? Mike Tyson is now the same age Evander Holyfield was when he faced Vitor Belfort. The age discrepancy is ridiculous. One, in boxing, you do not pair up a guy that's old enough to be your grandfather with a youngster. You just don't do that. Okay? Point number two, it's very dangerous if you don't have headgear and all the necessary precautions, 18-ounce gloves that they're talking about and stuff like that. No sanctioning body is going to. First of all, Evander Holyfield was not, the Athletic Commission did not allow Evander Holyfield. They didn't certify it. So even though it was an exhibition, Evander Holyfield did not pass the certain tests to be able to fight. He was fighting without the sanctioning commission's consent in that Thriller bout. And Mike Tyson, as much as he looks so good on the mitts and all of that stuff, at 58, at 57, 58, he shouldn't be allowed to pass tests to have this fight. I'll tell you why. Everybody's talking about money, but you're talking about a young fighter who's in his 20s taking on a 50-something-year-old fighter. And unless Mike Tyson and, what's his name? Jake Paul have some agreement before this fight that Jake Paul will not pulverize Mike Tyson. Because Mike Tyson's old. Y'all don't get that. Just because you're watching clips of Mike Tyson do what he does, he's not going to be able to maintain that for 8 rounds. He's not going to be able to maintain that for how long this fight goes. And if these guys are going blow for blow at 58 years old, Mike Tyson, they should be protecting all legends. They should be protecting all legends. This is not a fight in which you want a young, I don't care that Jake Paul, he's just developing as a fighter. He's way further along than Vitor Belfort is. Think about the damage that could happen to Mike Tyson in round 1. Think about what happened to Evander Holyfield in round 1 with a guy who was not even as young as Jake Paul is. This is a very dangerous fight. And unless these guys are scripting things and they're doing things, Mike Tyson is an actor. And Mike Tyson acts a certain way, Jake Paul, unless this fight is scripted. You know, if this is some kind of fight like how Belfort treated Evander Holyfield, it's going to be very dangerous for Mike Tyson. Not for Jake Paul because he's young. He can recover from that. Older fighters like Mike Tyson, I don't care if he's doing stem cell therapy. I don't really care. There's certain things that harm your body to the extent to which the damage is irreparable. And getting hit in the head is just not one of those things that can be repaired just like that. Okay? So, you know, I'm just saying that, you know, you have to be careful in boxing. This is not something you play. You don't play boxing. And yeah, this thing could get a lot of publicity and all of that. But this is not Roy Jones Jr., who was not in physical athletic shape like that, fighting Mike Tyson. Okay? This is a live, young, professional boxer who's further ahead than Vitor Belfort is, taking on Mike Tyson. He might be slightly smaller, or at least fought at a slightly smaller weight, but that doesn't mean nothing. And I don't want to see Mike Tyson get chopped down by Jake Paul. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see him get stopped by Jake Paul. Okay? Unless this is some staged thing in which Mike Tyson looks good and Jake Paul looks good, in which case it's not real and it's just a circus act. I don't need to see it. Okay? I'm just saying, if this is going to be a real fight, meaning even though it's an exhibition, a real fight, like how Vitor Belfort fought Evander Holyfield, we have problems. This is very dangerous. And I don't believe that either the sanctioning bodies or the athletic commissions should allow a fight like this to happen. And they say it's going to be on Netflix. They got some deal with Netflix. Why they couldn't get it with other channels like DAZN, etc., is because DAZN probably said we ain't want to. We keeping hands length away from that. It's too much. It's too wide an age gap there. I don't care how Mike Tyson looks on the mitts. He can look how he wants to look on the mitts. When he gets hit, and he will get hit. When he gets hit, he won't look the same. Okay? And Mike Tyson's a legend. But boxing's a young man's sport. And that's a dangerous thing for older guys. Even if Mike Tyson was to beat up Jake Paul, even knock him down or whatever, he's going to take damage. Okay? So I'm not cool with this, and I don't care about people writing people's names to make a buck. This is very wrong. This is very, very wrong what's going on. And I can't believe that the boxing, you know, people in charge of boxing are not denouncing this. This is another disgrace to the sport, and y'all don't even realize it. So I just wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring up the precedents. I want to bring up what Shawn Porter said. I hope this fight doesn't happen, because this is one of those fights that, you know, of all fights, you know, fight fans talk about, protecting fighters, right? They talk about protecting a fighter that's currently there and encouraging ducking. But of all the fights that fight fans should be encouraging not to happen, is this one. And I don't mean, I'm not trying to hate on anybody's money, but this is not worth the money. This is not worth the money. Okay? Unless they're going to do a farce. They're going to give us a stage something in which Mike Tyson's going to act and Jake Paul's going to act, and they're going to play out a scenario in which that's not boxing. That's something else. Unless that's what's going down, which is going to hoodwink the fans, this is not a fight to happen. This is not a fight to happen. Jake Paul has a whole future ahead of him. He's fine. Okay? He, you know, if you know anything about neuronal plasticity, you know, he can accommodate. Mike Tyson doesn't have that option. He's 58 years old, ladies and gentlemen. And what happened to Evander Holyfield was terrible. And we don't need that to happen to Mike Tyson, because that's the direction it's going in. No matter what you see him do on the mitts and how hard he punches, this is a dangerous sport, period. All right, so that's what I got to say on this issue. I'm gonna catch you guys later. I'm WattUNeed. Peace.